Former Governor of Taraba State, Reverend Nyame, says Tarabans must unite to elect good leaders in the forthcoming elections. Speaking at a meeting with members of the Women in Media, WIM, Taraba State, Reverend Nyame called on electorates to shun primordial sentiments in choosing candidates in the 2023 polls.
So the issue of religion, the issue of tribe did not arise at that time. But now, it's more because unless you speak a particular tribe, a particular language, they won't listen to you. Unless you come from a particular part of the state, then something is wrong. Or if you come from a different part of the state, and if it is the wrong part, it's the wrong part. So you have to say for 8 years. People have managed for 8 years. So now that there's going to be election, they're now saying that no. Say Nyame. But if things were done well, I remember during my time, 2007, if I had wanted my own younger brother to be a governor, they would have voted for him at that time. But now you can't talk of that because they will say, time na kuyai, kubama orenso. What is the reason? Is because people have been chained. What I'm supposed to get, I've not gotten. Because I happen to come from a wrong religion or wrong tribe.
Curious to know who the Taraba political elder statesman has endorsed as the next governor to be elected in Taraba State, Reverend Nyame had this to say.
A lot of people waited for you to return before the political setting will be set.
Yes.
You have come back, sir. Have you made any setting? That's the mind of
Tarabans are itching to hear you.
Very soon we'll be there. We'll be there. Like I've said during my birthday, taking a decision, I thought it was going to be very, very easy. But after staying at home for 2-3 months, I realized the state has been polarized. Northern zone, southern zone.
Yes.
This tribe versus the other tribe. This religion versus the other religion.
Yes.
It broke my heart almost to pieces when in a particular party, one particular party, they're not talking about, okay, we'll vote for this, we'll not vote for the other person. They are voting, and now some people are even saying, even Talia. Same party. And I think the problem, could be traced to non-adherence to party democracy.
Yes. Internal party.
Yeah, internal party democracy, that's the right word. If you don't do proper party primaries, so there's going to be a fallback, a fall away or fall whatever from that thing that you have done. Because some people that were disenfranchised, or some people that felt cheated, they will say, okay, we'll go to another party. We have more than 18 parties.
18 years.
So if this doesn't work, they'll go to another party. So I found it very, very difficult. I said, okay, if I make a choice openly, I will break the state.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If I take this decision now, they will say, okay, no wonder he always liked Christians. If I take this decision now, happens to be a Muslim, they will say, oh, why should he vote for a Muslim? Why should he vote for a Muslim? So Taraba is all ours. Whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, whether you're a Jukun, you're a thief, you're a Wurkun, you're whatever, it's all ours. But now the clamor for my own tribe, my own religion, is at its highest ebb.
Yes.
It wasn't happening before, at least during my time.
In his philanthropist nature, the first civilian governor of Taraba State, Reverend Nyame, who has passion for helping the orphans and widows in the society, enjoin the public to care for the vulnerable members of the society at all times.
So all of us have much to do in order to change our society. We have a role to play. We may not have more than enough, but whatever we have, I think we can share with those that don't have completely. And in the course of doing that, I'm sure people that have will now say, oh, this group of people, I think, let me invest my money there because they are going to use the money wisely. I think together we'll get somewhere.
Reverend Jolie Nyame, who recalled his experience in prison, said his return back home is divine. Appealed to the civil society organizations, media and other stakeholders to be more searchlight on the judicial system with a view to ensuring that innocent people are not punished for crimes they did not commit.
One of the advocacy you need to do is to use your pen, because as a paper, your pen is very powerful. You know, there are people that are disadvantaged in this society, and sometimes they find themselves in court and they cannot even afford a lawyer. If they get a lawyer, the charges will be so exorbitant that they cannot pay. And in some instances, when I was in Kujabu, I found out that the prosecutors, that's the police, will tell you, you better bring this amount of money or I'll take you to court. And in some instances, they give the money and still take them to court.
Yes.
Some charges are so small that they give the option of fine. And how much? Some of them 10,000, 5,000, 25,000. I know I assisted more than 50 or a little bit over 50. Small, for them to go home. I say, allow us for 14 years to remain. You go. You know, your advocacy have to like zoom your mind to the prosecutors, the judiciaries too. I gave one particular example. I said, when a witness said he carried 110 million, one person, and I believe he was within the age of 50, 60. Somebody of that age to carry 110 or 120 million, it would be difficult. And at that time, there wasn't 1,000 naira note. It was only 500 down. And there's no bank you go to that will give you 500 all. But let's presume they gave him 500.
And all of it in cash.
Yes, cash. And my lawyer asked him, who helped you? Who assisted you? He said he carried it alone. So presumably, it was one Ghana must go. Which Ghana must go will carry 110 million?
And how can someone else lift it?
One person carried it. That is one. And number two, my lawyer also asked him, between your office and the governor's office, who did you meet on the way? He said, nobody. So I was the only governor in Nigeria or in the world that would sit down in the office alone. No ADC, no chief detail, no visitor. And the judge agreed. The judge agreed. So you see, something is wrong in this country. So the more you write, I think the more it gets into the conscience of the judges, the prosecutors, even the people that want to take somebody to court, because they would say, this time around, I think they have changed. If I go, I may lose the case. I know you have other areas of advocacy, but to me, this is the one that appeals to me more now because I was seriously affected. And I know a lot of people are also affected. When you look at politics now, there's a serious case that will make somebody not to contest. But his lawyers will look for some technical reasons and they'll just knock it out. Just technical reasons.
Yes, sir.
The electoral law says this, or the constitution says this, you must have this before you are qualified. And you're not qualified. And they'll say you file out of time, or they'll find something technically. So where are we going? Where are we going? Something is wrong, and I know time is coming. And it will not just come like that until when there's an advocacy, which you are doing.
Queen Kunde, reporting for City News.